Much like Motorball, Alita took over the world by storm. And even though the movie did not perform according to the expectations at the box office, the project itself proved to be a cult movie, with the brand of Alita bringing in the Alita army that has done a lot to move the whole process of a potential sequel in the right direction. However, there are some things that hold the sequel down, and some things that will need to happen in order for us to get the long-awaited Alita sequel. Developing a big fan base ever since it came out in 2019, Alita: Battle Angel proved to be a movie for all ages, with the movie bringing one of the few manga adaptations throughout the year. The movie did a phenomenal job of adapting one of the most famous manga heroines to the live action, and even though the movie was well received by the critics and the fans around the world, there are still some minor details that the franchise will need to go through if a second movie is ever on the horizon. Based on the manga created by Yukito Kishiro, this passion project of James Cameron came with a bang, with Robert Rodriguez alongside him as the one who co-wrote the script together with James Cameron. Quickly after the movie was released in February 2019, expressed his plans for the future of the franchise with 2 more movies in line, then titled Alita: Fallen Angel and Alita: Avenging Angel, with a few requirements needed in order for this idea to become a reality. And as it stands right now, it seems like those requirements have not been met by now. More than 3 years since the movie was released, and many have said that it is fair to call Alita a cult movie, with Robert Rodriguez doubling down on the notion of more sequels being made for the franchise, with those said sequels not even needing the theatrical release, but rather to take a spot in the wide Disney Plus streaming platform. This is all just a wishful thinking at the moment. However, we would not be surprised to see Alita on the streaming service, maybe in the form of a Disney Plus series, because, after all, we think that we will be saying for everyone that we want more Alita, no matter the shape or form, or even the runtime of the series. Just give us something, right? And with that in our minds, let's see how the first movie sets up any future sequels or the rumored TV series in the near future. And without further ado, let's dive right in. When we look at the first movie story, it definitely says a lot about the picture in mind of the people working behind the movie, and the movie being a complete story, one that does not answer all our questions, and that is fine, or at least was fine, until a while ago, when all of our hopes were put in one basket that we will eventually be getting a sequel, something that feels like a distant memory by now. Alita loses her lover Hugo, which also helps her understand and find her place in the world, who then goes on to become a motorball champion, which also gives her a chance to return to the mysterious city Salem and its leader Nova. As we came to learn, there was also an entire scene about motorball that did not make the cut, one in which Hugo teaches Alita the tips and tricks of motorball. Deleted scenes aside, it's clear that the first movie was intended to be a complete series of 3 movies, something we mentioned earlier, a complete arc, as Alita now knows who she is, and she has got a target, one full story with a beginning, middle, and end, said Rodriguez. However, this seems like a complete mystery to the likes of Cameron too, as even he is not fully set on how the story should look, mainly due to the main manga from Yukito Kishiro not even being finished the way he would like it to be. So, with everything in mind, we can see that there are some plans for the continuation of Alita's story, with certain bits and pieces still hanging in the balance, ones that kind of complicate things for both Cameron and Rodriguez, the ones that we hope to get resolved, which would then lead us to getting what we have been waiting for so long. The movie also boasted a lot of familiar castings, including Rosa Salazar, who would definitely be back for a possible sequel in the role of Alita, and not because she is the lead role, but because she loves it so much, who said that she would play the role of Alita until her last breath. Now, that is a commitment. Another character who we should expect to make a return is Alita's surrogate father, Dr. Dyson Ito, with Christoph Waltz in the role, a character who also happens to be a scientist and a bounty hunter, something the franchise might look into in a possible sequel. A plot thread in which we would love to see Waltz's talent of portraying a role, one that is not in his nature. Setting everything aside, one of the most mysterious characters in the movie was Nova, the leader of Salem, portrayed by Edward Norton, who appeared in the last moments of the first movie as one of the biggest setups for a potential sequel.
And, she's not my girlfriend. Whatever.
One character who will not be making his return is Mahershala Ali in the role of Vector, the villain of the first movie who was killed by the hands of Alita. We have gone on and on about the movie and how good it was. So what is the holdup? What needs to happen for us to finally get one of the long-awaited sequels outside of the second Avatar movie? Which is, by the way, coming out in December 2022 from James Cameron? Well, a big factor is surely Disney's trepidation regarding the sequel, with the balance between the first film's budget and box office success numbers being too close for comfort. Alita Battle Angel came with a high price tag, and even though it was not that big of success at the box office, in our opinion, it performed well enough to at least receive or even inspire consideration for a potential sequel. Another aspect we have to note is just how much the brand awareness of Alita has grown since the first movie. With the movie, despite not meeting Disney's expectations, it exceeded the critics' expectations for the box office. However, the truth lies in that if an eventually second movie can pull the same thing the second time around, especially if the budget for the effects heavy production are taken into consideration, the Alita Army, the fan base of the franchise, did a phenomenal job of promoting the notion of a sequel, with their activities resonating with the public eye and not letting her name move away from everyone's consciousness. As for what the franchise needs the most is probably Disney's approval, giving the green light to the franchise with the discussions about the budget being made as soon as possible, with it being the most prominent barrier between us and a sequel. Now that the COVID-19 pandemic has little to no effect to the filming process of any movie in the present, another big thing that Alita needs is the people who will be working on the project to figure out where the franchise's place is. Get her ready for a theatrical marvel, or move away from it and give her a well-decorated Disney Plus spot on the streaming service. It goes without saying that there are a lot of factors that play a big role in what the future holds for the Alita sequel. Still, the growing popularity of Alita since her debut in the first movie and the tireless push being made by the fans, put together with Cameron, Rodriguez, and Salazar's enthusiasm, should be enough boxes ticked for Alita to shine once again.
I never killed anyone. We only jacked parts.
On a related note, tell us down in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the first movie? And do you think the movie did well enough to get a sequel? What would you like to see in the second movie, if it ever gets the confirmation we are waiting for? But also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you would like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.